Good afternoon, folks. I hope y'all are having an amazing day and an amazing week so far. This is just being used as an intro to the content that is coming up soon, and that content is actually a sort of mini podcast episode that I recorded as an assignment for school. And not gonna lie, I was kind of stressed about it, but in the end I felt really good about it and how it turned out. And I ended up doing a poll on Snapchat asking whether or not I should just leave it be as a school assignment or actually post it. And the vast majority of people said that I should post it, so that's what the content is going to be after this little intro. And I've decided to name the podcast Real People, Real Vibes. And simply it's because it's just real, true people having genuine conversations and having a damn good time while doing it. So other than that, I got nothing else. I hope you all enjoy the podcast. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the soft launch of my new podcast, Real People, Real Vibes. I am your host, Enrique Murley, and with me today I have my guest and personal friend, Reese Melvin. Why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Hey, I'm Reese. Been doing the sports stuff almost all my life, so looking forward to being a part of this podcast and seeing Enrique, the work he can do. So I'm really looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoy this.
So the first thing we have on the agenda today for Major League Baseball topics is players that are a lot better than we've expected. And Reese, I understand you have quite a bit to say on Cody Bellinger and Christian Yelich.
Yes. So Cody Bellinger, when he came up from the minors, not a lot of people expected much. His first couple of years wasn't the greatest, and all of a sudden he has just obliterated the league. With on base, RBIs, lots of home runs. The aspect he brings to his team is something nobody ever thought. He's more of a leader than anything, and they rely on him more than they ever thought they would. And to see somebody come that far unexpected is fun to watch as a sports fan. And then for Christian Yelich, what a surprise, and so fun to watch. All over the field, great fielder, but he brings another aspect, a lot more dominant than Cody. He is always there. He's always picking his teammates up. He's always communicating with other players. He has a great eye for the game. If somebody hits at the right field and they get up again, he's going to let the other fielder know where to play. He's just great mindset for the game, great asset for the Brewers, and there's no way they're getting rid of him anytime soon. It is one of the best players that the Brewers most likely have ever had. I can definitely see him and Cody both going to the Hall of Fame one day, and I'm excited to keep watching them play. So we'll see where they go.
And a couple other notable players that are way better than a lot of people have expected are Bryson Stott, second baseman of the Phillies, and Bobby Witt Jr., shortstop for the Royals. Us being from Minnesota, we have quite a few opinions on being a Minnesota sports fan in general. We tend to do pretty good at certain points, but when it comes to really big moments where we need those big plays and shots to make it into the playoffs and win championships, we, for lack of better words, shit the bed. And really, there's only a handful of players on any Minnesota sports team that are really standout guys in their respective sports, and it's a shame that their talents are wasted. Essentially, I don't know if wasted is necessarily the right word for this, but there's so much more that they could be doing with their amazing talents. But there are some pretty good surprises and some expectations we have of the Minnesota Twins. If you want to give your piece on that, Reese.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So when it comes to the Minnesota Twins, we always have a high expectations in Minnesota. Every sports fan wants to watch their team win, which is why a lot of people like more than one team. So it gives them more of a chance, to watch them go somewhere. As for the Twins, a lot of great players, great farm system. They just seem to get players at the wrong time. And in my opinion, they have Byron Buxton, amazing outfielder, no doubt about it, can hit the ball, but he just brings us down a lot in my opinion. I think he's a wasted asset. He's hurt a lot, and we're just wasting money on him, and it doesn't give us space in the salary cap to, get other players. So in my opinion, great player, but I think that's something that needs to be off the team. And really disappointing and when you get somebody like Luis Arias, who is hitting above 400 almost every year. Insanely good hitter, great outfielder. And then the Twins just give him away, like they've done to Denard Span and a bunch of other great players. They keep the ones that hurt them the most, and they get rid of the most valuable. And in my opinion, that's what hurts us the most. You can't make a farm system work if you get one great player in and then kick them on, just bring one. You got to keep collecting them. You got to have multiple. It's a team sport. Not one player is going to win you the game. But those really good players, when you see them go and then they go on to another team and they keep playing just as good, if not even better, it really hurts. And, I'm hoping in the future we smarten up and we start getting with the times, but only time will tell. And as for expectations, we expect to make the playoffs every year. We're a good enough team. We have the players. Last few years, we always make it. The disappointing part is we have the worst record in the MLB out of any team to make the playoffs and still clinch first in their division, which is sad. So I'm hoping to see us get better. I'm hoping to see our pitching come around. We have a lot of talent there, and there's some opportunities coming up here to get a couple new pitchers that will make a big, big difference in our lineup. A couple closers, and if we can get them closers, we're going to have a lot more tight games that we actually have a chance to win, and we don't blow in the 7th, 8th, or 9th. So I'm looking forward to that. I keep an eye on all those kind of guys and see who we have the chance to pick up. And if we can get our pitching down, our hitting hasn't been bad for a long time. Because, just a couple of years ago when we called ourselves the Bomber Squad, broke the home run record in the MLB, and still lost the first round of playoffs. Very disappointing. But I have high expectations, and I know they're working on it. And I think if they keep listening to the fan database, that they're gonna start to see what we see, and I think they're gonna start, going with our opinion. And I think that's gonna make a big difference in the way they play and the way they get their players. And the Twins can go a long ways. So I'm excited to see it.
Amen to that, Reese. And I definitely agree with you on the fact that no one person, and this goes for any sport, no one person or teammate can win the entire game. It's a team effort. And one highlight, too, from the Minnesota Twins, not necessarily on the field, but Joe Mauer was recently inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. And as a Minnesota sports fan, that is amazing to see. I remember watching him play when I was younger and seeing him dominate on the field. And in the end, it's all a game. We try to have fun, but we always try to do our best. Thank you guys for joining me on the Real People, Real Vibes podcast. It was a pleasure giving you all a little bit of a deeper insight into the world of baseball. And thank you, Reese, for helping me out.